Welcome back, artistic ladies and gentlemen, to another Fun Friday episode in this Pokémon TCG Online series. Fun Fridays is all about silly and fun deck ideas, and today I bring you a Gyarados deck, Gyarados and Magikarp from the... Our last opponent for today is PokeChicho with a, 22, with a Water, Psychic and a colorless deck. I think this is a Aqua Box, Water Box, which should be a fairly good matchup for us if we can get the one-hit kills on those Seismitoads from our opponents. We start off with a Mulligan. That was actually a pretty good hand there. Well, actually maybe not, because we would have to discard the Sacred Ash and a Puzzle. Can we start off with the Trubbish? I would love to start off with the Trubbish. My opponent is going to go first. We do start off with the Trubbish there. And an okay hand. We might have to discard a DCE unless we find a Magikarp from the Trainers Mail. Are we up against Aqua Box? Are we up against... yes, Regis. Definitely looks like it's going to be Aqua Box. Regis is a very good Pokemon for us to face off against, because we can very easily one-hit kill it, and it does not one-hit kill our Gyarados. It is an Empoleon right there, a Manaphy. Maybe it is not Aqua Box after all, or maybe it is a different variant from Aqua Box than I am familiar with. Discarded the Silent Lab, that is fantastic. Fighting Fury Belt is going to discard some more cards, maybe Sycamore to get it back with a VS Seeker in his hand or something. We will try to shut down the Manaphy, that is for sure, with our Garbodor. Try to shut that down, make sure we don't see any retreating between my opponent's Pokemon, any switching. Certainly not. If we can't one-hit kill, then we definitely want to prevent my opponent from switching between Pokemon and healing up with Rough Seas. There is an Archie. We might see an Archie for the Empoleon right here. Is this maybe just a Regis Empoleon? VS Seeker for the Archie straight away. Wow, that is incredible. Just from his starting hand, with all the cards that he had in his starting hand, he managed to pull off the Archie. That is a pretty darn neat first hand there. And there's the Empoleon. Now this Regis actually hits for 100 damage onto our Pokemon. We get another Sycamore. We will counter the Stadium for sure here. There's no doubt about it. Our Trubbish might go down in the next turn if we see some Max Elixirs and energy switches. So we get Teammates. I will actually grab the Teammates, so we will have access to the Teammates if we Sycamore the Teammates into our discard pile. And there's VS Seeker as well as a Muscle Band. No need for those. We will discard this DCE, unfortunately. Not going to attach it to my Trubbish. And we get the Magikarps. Fantastic. Alright. Now we are on our merry way. Do I discard another Stadium? Well, I'm just going to bench my Shaymin here. Try to find some more cards without discarding the Stadium. And then we can always Ultra Ball for another Shaymin if we have another Shaymin. There's a DCE for the next turn. We will discard this Archie as well as the Ultra Ball. And we are going to grab another Shaymin. We have one more spot for another Magikarp, and that should be enough to knock out my opponent's Pokemon. Any Pokemon that my opponent benches, unless we see a Seismitoad with a Fighting Fury Belt, then it definitely won't be enough. We get another Trubbish. Let's see. Do we use the Puzzle? I am not going to use the Puzzle. I am just going to wait and see what my opponent does here. Can he knock out our Trubbish? Hits for 60 with the Fighting Fury Belt. That's not a knockout. So I will pass my turn and see what my opponent does. We have several options for the next turn. We can Wally into a Gyarados, attach a DCE. That is something we can do. We can also just Teammates if my opponent does knock out our Trubbish. There's a Team Flyer Hyper Gear Headringer onto the Shaymin and a Sycamore. Alright, no more Archie from my opponent. Ooh, and a Ditto. If this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, it can use the attacks of your opponent's active Pokemon. You still need the necessary energy to use each attack. That is not going to be useful for my opponent. There's an unknown. It might just be an Archie deck. Not an Aqua Box deck. It's probably just Archie with Regis. We should definitely stand a good chance against that deck. We can very easily one-hit KO the Regis, and there it is. There is 60 damage on our Trubbish, and we do get paralyzed. Can we maybe find our Garbodor and a Float Stone? Garbodor and a Float Stone. We do not. Well, that means I'm going to bench another Trubbish. We will put a DCE on... Do we put a DCE on anything? No, we are not going to put a DCE on anything, because we don't want to see a Lysandre on a Magikarp. We will just... in the next turn, we will Teammates for another Magikarp and for a Gyarados, and that will be a KO on the Regis, I think. Actually, no, we need a muscle band. We need a muscle band. So instead, we are going to Wally right here. We are going to Wally into our Gyarados. In the next turn, we'll grab one muscle band and one Magikarp from the teammates. And then KO this Regice. Yes, that's exactly what we are going to do. Unless we see an N. Unless we see an N. Let's hope we do not see an N. Has my opponent used any Ns? Nope. Only Sycamore. Giovanni's Scheme. Archie's Ace in Hole. One VS Seeker. And that's about it. That's about it here. An Ultra Ball is maybe going to grab another Regice. Discards Water Energy and a Shauna. Alright. A Shauna. And there's a Seismitoad. There is a Seismitoad. My opponent does get out a Seismitoad right here. 20 damage on the Seismitoad. Fantastic. Unless we see a Rough Seas, then my opponent can heal that up. And a Fighting Fury Belt on the Seismitoad. No, no, no. Now we need 3 Magikarps in play to knock out the Seismitoad. Or... yeah, actually we need 3 Magikarps. 3 Magikarps. There's a Trainer's Mail. He's not going to power up the Regice anymore, which is definitely a good choice for my opponent. And an Ice Beam for the knockout on our Trubbish. Alright, we will promote our Gyarados. We did even get paralyzed again. And we'll promote our Gyarados. We are going to Teammates. And another DCE. Let's see here. Teammates. We could Teammates for puzzles. We could do that. But no, we need to... actually, maybe I will Teammates for one puzzle. We need a Magikarp and a Muscle Band though. 40, 150. Yeah, we need that Muscle Band. We cannot grab the Muscle Band with a puzzle. But then we leave ourselves without any draw supporter if we just Teammates for the Magikarp and the Muscle Band. Well, I guess it will have to be that way. Let's grab the Magikarp and the Muscle Band. We have 2 more VS Seekers. 2 more Sycamores, 1 N, 1 Hex Maniac. We should be fine for now. We can always Sky Return our Shaymin if it comes to that. We'll bench the Magikarp. We'll attach the Muscle Band. And hopefully we can get something nice from the prizes. Our Gyarados should stay alive here. Our Gyarados should stay alive. I could use my puzzle, but I don't think I will. We will hit for the knockout for 170 damage. Can we find space for another Magikarp? We might just have to Sky Return our Shaymin. There's an Ultra Ball. There is an Ultra Ball. We can find... from this Ultra Ball we can find another Magikarp if we use our Sacred Ash after the Gyarados gets knocked out, or we can just find Gyarados itself. Another Regice comes down. A DCE, that is not enough for the Grenade Hammer. And an unknown Fighting Fury Belt on the Regice. Farewell Letter from the unknown is going to draw into one more card. Can we get the KO here on the Seismitoad? Can we find our Startling Megaphone maybe? Would love to get a VS Seeker for Teammates and then Teammates for Startling Megaphone. That would be fantastic. Then we can 1-hit KO this Seismitoad EX here. And a Lysandre on a Magikarp. No, a Lysandre on a Magikarp is going to target our Magikarps. That is definitely a good tactic from my opponent. My opponent knows where it's at. We'll promote. What will we promote? We will promote maybe our Shaymin and then... no, let's promote the Gyarados. We need to attack here. We do need to find more Magikarps though. And an N. We get an N. Well, what are we going to do here? We are item locked. We are item locked. We cannot use puzzles. My opponent can knock us out in the next turn. This is a true bummer. This is a true bummer. Can we get lucky and find a Magikarp maybe? I will attach this DCE to my Shaymin. And I am going to end here. Bring my opponent down to 4 cards. Hopefully he does not find another VS Seeker or something. We get a Float Stone. We get an entire hand consisting of item cards. No Magikarps. That is too bad. Hopefully my opponent doesn't have any energies. We hit for 110 damage. That's a 2-hit KO. Hopefully we can KO this Gyarados here. This Seismitoads. Hopefully we can do that. 4 energies in a discard pile already. My opponent definitely plays more energies though. Question is, does he have more water energies? 5 water energies have been used. 1 in play, 4 in the discard pile. And actually starts powering up the Empoleon. We will just get item locked. We won't see a Grenade Hammer. I think that's a misplay from our opponent. A Grenade Hammer would actually put us in a very bad spot. And there's an Energy Recycler. And there is an Energy Recycler. Yeah, I think my opponent should have actually put his energy on the Seismitoad and go for the Grenade Hammer instead of attaching it to the Empoleon. I don't mind being item locked. at the moment. Discards a DCE right there. Because we will get the KO here on the Seismic Nodes, and then we won't be item locked anymore. Yes, we do actually get the KO. This Empoleon can kill us with the Hydro Splash, but that's okay. Because we will be able to respond in the next turn, hopefully with some puzzles. Hopefully we can find some puzzles. So we will a full retaliation for 2 more prizes. 110 damage. I cannot believe we stayed alive there. What can we get from the prizes? A Startling Megaphone and a VS Seeker, that is it. We have what we need here. We have what we need. Well, I think we might just be a little bit short. We might just be a little bit short. We might have to Sky Return first and then maybe promote our Trubbish or something. We might have to go with that. Maybe we'll see a Lysandre on a Shaymin maybe. That could be possible. There it is, Hydro Splash for 70. We'll promote our Shaymin. We have a Float Stone to put on our Shaymin. We can definitely do that. Now the magic needs to happen here. Can we pull off some magic? We get a DCE for a Magikarp. Alright, let's see here. First of all, let's take a look at the Trainers Mail. Maybe not. Do we have any more Magikarp left? We should have one more Magikarp, I think. So I'm going to grab the Magikarp from this level ball. Yes, there it is. Let's do that first of all. Then let's attach a DCE to a Magikarp. Now all we need is a Gyarados and another Magikarp. Gyarados, Magikarp, and that's it. So let's take a look at the Trainer's Mail first of all. We find a puzzle, fantastic. We find a puzzle. We can puzzle here for a Magikarp. And what else can we get? A Magikarp and let's be smart here. We might actually be able to Archie in the next turn. But we do need a Gyarados. I can still teammate for a Gyarados. So I'm going to grab my Archie. No, we are going to have a full bench here. Well, it should be fine for now. I will grab the Archie. Then we are going to VS Seeker for the teammates. And teammates for a Gyarados. I do believe we had one more Gyarados in our deck. I do believe we had one more Gyarados. Oh, there's 2 more Gyarados as well as a Sacred Ash. Fantastic. I will grab the Sacred Ash. Maybe not. Do we need the Sacred Ash? Might as well grab the Sacred Ash. Or maybe just a VS Seeker. What else do we need? What else do we need? Or I could just grab a Lysandre. I think I will grab a Lysandre. I will bench the Magikarp. We will evolve into our Gyarados. Then we will retreat the Shaymin. We'll put a Float Stone on the Shaymin. And that should be it here. That should be a KO on this Empoleon. Just to be sure, I will attach Muscle Bands. And then we will play our Startling Megaphone to get rid of those Fighting Fury Belts on the Regice and on the Manaphy. And might as well use our Town Map just so we can pick a prize that we really want. Garbodor or Buddy-Buddy Rescue. I will actually not grab the Garbodor. Because we have dealt with most of my opponent's important Pokemon. The Empoleon, the Manaphy is not very useful anymore. So that means Buddy-Buddy Rescue is more useful for us because it allows us to grab a Magikarp from the discard pile. There's an energy on the Regice. I believe this is GG. I think this is GG. 0-6 discards are... Oh my goodness, no. Discards are... That's annoying. Now we need some more puzzles. Now we need some more puzzles or a Float Stone. I cannot believe that just happened. Discarded our DCE. Now it's definitely not GG. We need some more puzzles. Now I regret not grabbing a VS Seeker. We get a Hex Maniac. We get a Hex Maniac. Well... That's a bummer. That's a bummer. Let's end our turn here. This Regice cannot hit us for the KO anytime soon, so we are fine for now. Yeah, I should have VS Seekered for teammates for VS Seeker. That's Archie's Ace in Hole was not a good pick. There's a DCE on the Regice. We'll get hit for 70, which is a 2-hit KO. Can we find our own VS Seeker? We will need to be a little bit lucky here to find our VS Seeker. We have 2 more VS Seekers. A VS Seeker or a Drop. That's a VS Seeker from my opponent for another 0-6. Is going to discard the DCE attached to our Shaymin. Leave us without any DCEs. This is definitely not GG yet. However, all we need to do is knock out this Manaphy. That's all we need to do. So if we find puzzles for DCE, we can Lysandre the Manaphy. There's a Float Stone. There is a Float Stone. Let's see. Do we use a Float Stone? I will Lysandre the Manaphy. Maybe my opponent doesn't have any more energies for the Manaphy. I do think he has more energies. I do believe he has more energies. And we will maybe retreat into our Shaymin. And then we can Buddy-Buddy Rescue a Shaymin at some point. Yes, I will let my Shaymin get knocked out here. Or at least one Shaymin. The Shaymin with the Headringer on it. And we are going to end our turn here. We will give our opponent that prize. And we will hope that we can then find a VS Seeker for a puzzle or for a teammates. An Ultra Ball is going to discard the Lugia and the Empoleon. It does not grab anything, which is more than logical. Retreats into the Regice. Resistance Blizzard for a near knockout. So we will need one more turn here, unless we find our puzzles right now. A VS Seeker for puzzles. But now that Shaymin is stuck in the active spot. Well, we cannot Sky Return the Shaymin. How many VS Seekers has my opponent got? Or has my opponent used 2 VS Seekers? So he can definitely 0-Seek again. I'm going to make it seem like I don't have anything. And then in the next turn we are going to come in with... well, actually my opponent can knock us out with the Manaphy, and that would allow my opponent to take the game. So we need to retreat this Shaymin here into our Trubbish. We need to VS Seeker for teammates. Then... oh, we cannot retreat. We cannot use the teammates this turn. I forgot. We cannot use the teammates this turn. My goodness. My goodness. Well then, well then. That is going to be problematic for us. How are we going to take this game? I might just have to use my RFCs here. Because my opponent can use Lysandres at any time. At any time. Or I need to find my Pokemon catcher and then catcher that Manaphy for the knockouts. Yes, we are going to let the Shaymin go down. This is going to be a very, very tight game. I cannot believe that that double 0-Seek screwed us over. And the fact that I didn't get a VS Seeker there with the teammates before. I was too eager to use my Archie, try to use my Archie. There is the Seismitoad. Will we see a retreat into the Seismitoad? It's going to item lock us. It's going to item lock us with the Quaking Punch. And that is basically GG then. That is basically GG. I cannot believe that just happened. I cannot believe that just happened. Well, that is GG. I will tell my opponent it is GG. We basically lost because of that one play where I got my Archie's ace in the hole. That is too bad. We should have been able to take this win. I feel very guilty now. I feel very guilty. Yeah, there's nothing we can do, I believe. Let's promote our Gyarados. Let's take a look at our deck with the teammates. We get a puzzle there. We cannot use a puzzle. I could just heal up and maybe deck out my opponents. I could try to do that. Let's heal up here. Let's teammate for Gyarados maybe. A Gyarados and a Sacred Ash. Or what else could we get? Puzzle of Time. My opponent can just Lysandre though. My opponent can just Lysandre. We will double teammates. I will teammates for the Gyarados and the Sacred Ash. and the puzzle, we will evolve into our Gyarados here, and we are going to retreat into this Gyarados. If my opponents retreats back into Regis, we can actually puzzle here for, then for a DCE, so we might buy ourselves a turn there that way. And there's a Lysandre on the Magikarp. Never mind, my opponent still took the game with the Lysandre. Too bad, too bad. We thought we lost. I believe if we replay this match, we will definitely win the game. And this should be a fairly easy match for us. I just had that little hiccup there with the Archie. Grabbing the Archie. I was too eager to get that Archie off, to try to get that Archie off at some point in the game. It didn't turn out like that. It didn't turn out that I could use the Archie, because I also grabbed the Lysandre and whatnot, and we top decked the Hex Maniac there, so that is a shame for sure, because this is a good matchup for us. Seismic is a good matchup for us, since we can very easily take 2 prizes against Seismic. Damage dealt 560 versus 510 from our opponents. Gyarados MVP versus Regis. Alright, I think this is going to be it here for today. Leave a like if you enjoy this Gyarados deck, and subscribe to my channel for more Fun Friday episodes. I hope you have a truly carptastic day, and I will see you next time with a Meta Monday episode.
Karp, 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 karp.